Hi everyone, welcome to Year 6 parents, welcome to any Year 6s watching as well. My name is Chris Doherty and I'm the head teacher, and you're going to be hearing from a few of us this evening, or it was in the evening but now we're doing a recording. It can be any time you're watching it. As I said, I'm the head teacher. You'll also be hearing from Mrs Holness, the deputy head teacher. She runs all of the transition work, etc. So she'll be the person going out to all the junior schools, and she'll tell you more about that in a moment. And you'll also be hearing from Mr Hutton, the other deputy head teacher. The reason Mr Fenner is on the screen here in front of you as well is so that you can put a face to a name. He is our Senko, and depending upon the needs of your child, etc., over this term and early into the next term, you may well be in touch with him as well.
So what can you expect as you begin to prepare your child and yourselves for starting at Admiral Lord Nelson School? So last week we held an open evening, a welcome evening. Hopefully you either attended that or you're now playing catch up and watching this video. Other videos will be posted on our website as well, introducing key staff such as some of the other senior staff, heads of house, etc., and answering some frequently asked questions. There's a tour on our website for you to look at as well. I'll be visiting the primary schools along with Mr Fenner, meeting the students, speaking to the staff to find out a little bit more about you, and I will also be handing to each of your children a parent information booklet, and that has in it all sorts of useful information. So information about what we do with our curriculum, our independent learning, what we do in terms of what you do if your child is absent, things about uniform, things about our canteen, all sorts of bits of that everyday information that you need to know before you start with this. And then finally, there are our transition days in July. So on Monday the 3rd and Tuesday the 4th of July, we will host transition days where your child comes along and spends 2 days with us. I will tell you a little bit more about that in just a moment. In addition, if you head over to our website and you choose the tab across the top, Learning, the drop-down menu will have a section called September Starters 2023. If you go there, you will find tours, talks from various people such as our head teacher, Mr Doherty, who you've met earlier, some information from current students talking about their experiences of Admiral Lord Nelson, the parent information book, and so on. So please do keep a close eye on our website. So, transition days, they take place on Monday the 3rd and Tuesday the 4th of July, and it's all about experiencing learning at Admiral Lord Nelson School, trying out lots of lessons, some that the students will be familiar with, such as history, geography, science, English, and some that are new experiences, so some design lessons, maybe some science experiments, some different forms of PE and so on. But it's really just a chance to meet the staff and to discover the building. Their biggest fear usually is that the pupils are going to get lost when they join us. That's what they worry most about. So if this is an opportunity for them to realise actually they're probably not going to get lost, if they do, we'll help them out, and just to get a chance to start for having a feel of the design of our building. It's also an opportunity to experience the canteen, to try out our food. On both days we'll give you a free meal for you to try experiencing queuing for food, choosing your food, sitting down in the canteen with your friends. But feel free please to bring your own food if you would prefer. Also, it's probably worth bringing some snacks and certainly worth bringing a drink to get them through the day as well. On the Tuesday, your children will find out their house, their tutor group and their teaching group. If they've already got a sibling at the school, they'll definitely be in the same house as their siblings. So if you're in that situation, you've got a little bit of a head start. But all of the information that the children will find out on the transition days, you will have in the parent information booklet. So please don't panic if they come home from that event and tell you it was fine but they didn't find anything out. It's all in there. Key points for you as parents, just in terms of getting organised, are it starts at 9 o'clock after our students are in already and finishes at 2:45 before our regular students go home. The children wear their primary school uniform and we will provide them with lunch. You will get a letter nearer the time giving you more information about the transition days.
So you've chose Admiral Lord Nelson School, you've chose our ethos. Going through our three main sections here: high expectations of everybody at every stage, high expectations within the classroom and academic success, high expectations of how we treat each other and show respect, high expectations of how we behave towards each other and around the building. Everybody treating each other well with kindness helps everybody's well-being, everybody feeling that sense of success, so we all get a buzz out of every day, be that student, staff, parents. And lastly, the inclusivity. Not everyone has a smooth ride through school. Some people it's things outside of school that throw us out of the path we've chosen. Other times it's things within school and struggling with learning. But supporting each other, helping each other through those difficult times, that's why we are truly inclusive and we never give up on a student. Second to that, there's three things here on the right hand side, and they're our curriculum aims. So successful learners, we don't know what our students are going to go on to. We don't know some of the careers and job opportunities that are going to be available in 10 years time. What we do know is that if we can have successful learners who know how they learn best, who are motivated to achieve, they'll be able to turn their hand to anything. And that will make them, the second one, confident individuals. Confident in themselves, confident to aim high, aspire to something that they really dream of rather than sitting back and let others have success. And then the third one, a load of our curriculum is not about exams. We're not an exams factory. A load of it is about the personal development of students, the wider world. What are their beliefs? Listening to others' opinions, etc. That we want responsible citizens to look after us when we're older, but also so they make the right decisions based upon evidence. And along with our high expectations and that high challenge and everyone aspiring to do their best, we fully understand that a lot of students need a lot of support to reach that, and that's what we're all about, putting support in where it's needed for however long it's needed to help them achieve. Within the curriculum, 5 years of studying here, 3 key skills there on the left hand side, the ability to actually express verbally what you're thinking, what your opinion is, oracy. And the second one, for success in any subject, reading has to be at the best possible level it can be. And those two things together along with writing contribute to a student's literacy. So not only reading exam papers, but also being able to write the answers to them in the way they should be. So those are skills that are delivered and developed across the curriculum over the 5 years. On the right hand side, those sort of ideas, we understand that learning doesn't always come easy to everyone, but what we're talking about and what we design learning around is memorable experiences, activities, getting outside of the classroom, doing practical activities, things that are memorable and will stick in the mind, so it's useful learning for the future rather than just learning in books. But to tell you a little bit more about our curriculum and the subjects that they'll be studying in Year 7, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Hutton.
Hello everybody. Just to share a little bit around how we organise our curriculum. I think one of the biggest differences and changes in a secondary curriculum to the primary curriculum is the range and broadness of that curriculum and the different subjects, and the fact that your young people will be not staying in one room all day, but they'll be going around a variety of different classrooms. Often we split our days up into normally about 3 lessons, sometimes 4, sometimes even 5, but generally 3 lessons a day. We operate a 2-week timetable, so again slightly different, so not every Monday is not identical, so there's different experiences every day and how we organise that. As you can see from the subjects on the screen, we offer a really broad and balanced curriculum. We want students to experience everything, and again the big difference here is we've got specialist rooms so they can really get stuck into some really different subjects. Most of the subjects in front of you you'll probably recognise. There's a couple of unusual ones there you may not see. The bottom one is Aspiring Futures. This is where we teach our personal and social education. They're often taught as mixed groups, so from Year 7 to 11, where we cover things like careers, e-safety and other similar matters as well. At the top of the page we've got product design. This is very much around working with woods and plastics and 3D materials as well, and again we have specialist rooms for those things, so a real broad and balanced curriculum is what they'll get. Mr. Doherty's already mentioned about this idea that we're not an exams factory, that we want your young person and your child to really develop personally and have those skills to be successful beyond school and not just about their academic achievements. So what we do offer are things called personal development days. These allow our young people, and you can see pictures here of young people enjoying a CSI day where they're using skills from science and what they've got in other subjects to try and work out a crime scene and what's going on in it. On these days our normal curriculum drops down, our normal timetable lessons stop, and we get students doing different activities. These range from, in Year 7, from Harry Potter Day to Wealden Downland, where we take them all off site on different days to experience things outside of their comfort zone. Picture you're seeing now is around team building, something else we use personal development days to do, where some young people are accessing the water sports centre locally. And I mentioned the Weald Downland trip, so we tried to take our Year 7 students here as well to experience this as part of their history curriculum and to try and bring that curriculum to life. We also aim to take all of our Year 7 students to France. So these are our previous Year 7 students experiencing French culture in Boulogne. Many of them will try snails, frogs' legs for the first time, as they truly embrace a completely different culture. So the plan again will be to take your child, all being well, to France next year. In addition, throughout their time at school, we try to provide students with huge opportunities. One of those big opportunities is the opportunity to go to Gambia. We've had over 20 years linked with Gambia schools and I've done an awful lot of work with them, and they also come back to our school to visit and talk about those links. So again, your child may well get the opportunity to go to Gambia later in their school lives. Here you see a member of our staff visiting Gambia and talking to some Gambian students. In Year 8, we also have a residential camp. So we have students here from previous year groups who are engaged in team building. We go to the New Forest in Brockenhurst, and we'd like all students to take part in that in Year 8. And again, out on the walk, you can see them there having walked through forest for quite a few miles, enjoying themselves in the New Forest. This often leads into many of our young people who enjoy that camp experience, taking that even further and going on to work towards their Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Award, and for some of our students the Silver Award as well. So again, huge opportunities available for your child in the future.
So some things to watch out for. We run a 2-week timetable. Week A, Week B. So Mondays will not be the same. Week A will not look the same as Week B. So keep your eye out for that. Independent learning, that's what we call our homework. So it is important for you initially to start helping your child with that in terms of getting them organised, asking them what deadlines they've got, what they've got due in, settling them into some of those good habits that hopefully you can then take your foot off the gas a little bit as the year goes on and help them get organised for themselves. Extracurricular clubs, it's a great opportunity, secondary school, to try out all those sort of new hobbies and sports and performing arts that they fancy giving a go. It's free. It's the only time in their life it's going to be free, so give those things a go. Remember, Mr. Hutton's already talked about PD days. Keep an eye out for when those are and whether there's any special requirements for them. So do they need a particular uniform, particular equipment? Do they need to bring a letter for permission to be off-site back? That sort of thing. Worth thinking about equipment. It's always worth perhaps keeping your own copy of their timetable so you know when, for example, food technology is coming up and you're not given a request at 9 o'clock in the evening for a potato, a carrot, a leek or whatever it might be. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and as I say, it would be helpful to have your own copy of their timetable so you know exactly what's going on. And yes, I speak from experience on that one. And parents' evenings. Any events that we invite you to, please keep an eye out for them and try to make them so that we can work with you to help your child have the best experience with us and be the happiest and most successful they can be. So I won't talk too much about this because I know that actually you've now had your letter about the Chromebook leasing scheme. If you haven't, please do call into the school to ensure that you get one. But just to draw your attention to the fact that the deadline to receive their Chromebook by September is for you to have actually set up your direct debit or so on the 10th of July, so just in a couple of months' time. So just that's the only bit I wanted to draw your attention to. Keep your eyes out for a letter that you should have already received. So keeping in touch with you, it's really important for us that we have a two-way successful communication, and we'll keep in touch with you in the following ways. We'll send letters to you mostly by email, so please make sure we've got your email address. Our calendar on our website stays up to date, so please, as I said earlier, keep a close eye on the website. If there's any urgent messages, they will go to you by text, and also the other thing is keep an eye on our social media. We use Instagram, we use Twitter, we use Facebook, and that's where we put news items, things we want to celebrate, little bits and pieces we want to draw to your attention. Arbor is our new platform that we will be using. Those of you that have been parents with us before, or even students with us in some cases, may have used Insight to find out information about your child in terms of maybe their behaviour points, in terms of their attendance and so on. Arbor is our new version of that we are launching in September. And working the other way, we want you to keep in touch with us. So the first point of contact for that is your child's tutor. So please ideally make contact with your child's tutor. Each tutor in the school has 3 or 4 Year 7s that they are responsible for. So they will be the people that get to know your child particularly well. But you may wish also to contact your child's head of house. We have 4 houses: Warrior, Victory, Spinnaker and Mary Rose. So you might want to contact your child's head of house, or you might want to contact a specific curriculum director, head of English, head of maths, for example, or the Senko, who, if you remember, as mentioned before, is Mr. Fenner. But I would always email him first, and then we will get back to you as quickly as we can. We all teach, so it is quite difficult to get hold of us during the day. So last little bit then, getting ready for September. What do we need you to be doing to ensure you have a nice, smooth start to secondary school? So firstly, look out for that parent information booklet. Don't panic if for whatever reason you don't get one. Pop into the school, we'll give you another one, or look on our website for the electronic version. Keep an eye on our website. That's where we'll put lots and lots of bits of information for you. Make sure we've got your email address so that we can contact you and you getting all the messages you need in good time. Clarify any uniform issues you might have in advance. So if you're wondering whether particular shoes or particular trousers are acceptable, rather than wait till September when there might be a problem, instead of that, call in to us, check with us, send us a picture, ask us in advance over the course of this term, and we can make sure that you get all those bits absolutely right. And then, as I said, consider joining the Chromebook scheme. How can you help your child? So come to all our events. We don't just have parents' evenings, we'll have a welcome evening in September, we have a mentoring day in February, we have curriculum evenings when the children get a little bit older and so on. So please make sure that you come to all parent events. Help your child initially with organisation, and you'll see there also the independent learning. So helping them make sure they've got what they need for each day, that they've done their independent learning, that they've got their equipment. Probably quite a big job for you in that autumn term. Hopefully after Christmas you'll be able to start easing off a little bit and just letting them begin to take the reins for themselves. And there will be mistakes and they will get things wrong, but that's okay. That's how we learn, that's how they develop that independence. Talk to us if you've got concerns, if you've got any worries, you want to know anything, talk to us. We'd far rather work with you when there's problems and try and work together to find solutions than be in a position where you're actually just getting cross with us, but we're not actually able to help you do anything about it because we don't know. So please do approach us, please do talk to us and share your worries. And in the same vein, keep talking together as well. There will be friendship changes, there will be fallouts in Year 7 for definite. I can tell you now that what happens is everybody starts off really friendly and they cling to their friends from primary school. The boys do their falling out usually around October, November, December, and you can imagine quite quickly it's all over. The girls cling on a bit longer and they usually use the spring term to be falling out with each other, finding new friends, etc. All of that is completely normal and we need to normalise that for the children, but of course support them through it both in school and you guys at home as well. So that comes to the end of our little talk. Hopefully it was useful for you. The last thing and the only thing left to say is welcome to the class of 2023. It's really exciting and we cannot wait for you to join us. Thank you for listening.